Hi, and welcome to Dr. Mix. Today, I'm going to explain to you 5 secrets to play better synthesizers and better keyboards. They're very good. Now, seriously, they're really, really good because these are things that I've done for years. Let me start with number 1, hand position. Look at these beautiful hands. These are mine. Let me see yours. Oh, your hands are great. What do you want? So the problem is not how big or small your hands are. It's, having small hands means you can be faster. Having big hands, it means you can play wider. But regardless, a good technique is number 1. And that starts with your hand position. This is your hand position, all right? So ideally, you should be sitting at the keyboard in a way that makes this a 90-degree angle. Get it? So I tend to be slightly up because that's me, but the ideal position is this one, all right? And then your hand, you don't play like this. I mean, a lot of people do, and don't get me wrong, you can be an incredible musician and keyboard player just with pretty much any technique. I mean, look at, Stevie Wonder's hand position. Stevie Wonder puts his hand here. He plays basically with his 4 fingers because this one he uses as a way to know where he is. I think that's what he does. There are very famous pianists who have unorthodox technique. But let me tell you, this position is the best. Why? Because it allows you to get the most dynamic with the smallest movement possible, all right? So if you're playing like this, right? I mean, you can play. But what happens if you run out and you want to turn around, right? You won't be able to do it too well if you play like this. Check out, I have to do like this entire movement. How am I going to do it? But if I pretend I'm holding an egg, that's what my classical teacher was telling me. You should pretend you're holding an egg. So you're not holding it hard, you're not clenching, you're just relaxed, right? Like that. See, and then when you do this movement, it's a lot easier because you have less distance to travel. Also, save yourself some time. If you have already learned how to play the synthesizer with this position, please change it. I know it's hard to break out of a bad habit. If you have fingernails, long fingernails, you can play with fingernails. You can. But not really. I constantly cut my nails, quite short, just in order to be able to maintain the correct position. Next, number 2, practice. Now, practice is a big word, and it means everything and nothing. What I personally like to do is to have a little routine where I can spend some time with my instrument. So typically a good routine is to do some scales, right? Right? I'm not even that orthodox in what finger I decide to turn around, and that doesn't matter because I know that my position will be there. So my practice means that sometimes I practice with Hanon. Hanon, it's a great one. Basically, it's like repetitive patterns, right? And they sound something like this. You can make up your own. It's just a matter of be familiar with it. You have to develop that relationship on a day-to-day basis if you want to grow, right? So that's practice. I also like to practice on a drum beat, yeah? So if I got It's a lot more interesting than having to go. So I try to do things that make the practice interesting. But there are other ways to make a practice interesting. One of those ways is to use Melodics, the kind sponsors of today's video. Melodics is an app that helps you build your skills and confidence on the MIDI keyboard or pad controller or electronic drum kit. Melodic has over 1,500 lessons and exercises that give you instant feedback so that you can see your progress. Let me show you what I do. This is how you get started. In my case, I am advanced. And this is my lesson for today. Also, the lovely people at Melodics are giving away a $1,000 prize. Enter the promo code for a chance to win, and also you will get a big discount on your subscription. Just for a limited time. Remember, all the details are in the link in the description. Visit it, click on it, and enjoy Melodics. Next! Number 3, explore harmony. Now, harmony is awesome. I find it fascinating, but it doesn't mean that you need to go nuts about knowing all the chords, all the scales, all the modes, all the styles. It's just enough that you explore and you make something yours. Like, for example, something very easy to happen, let's close up this filter a bit, is to just explore with intervals. All right? Even if you don't know what this is, you just went, I'm gonna play every other note apart from this one, and I'm gonna flatten it. What do I get? Or I try different intervals. Try to move this around. Try to move this around again. Trust me, you don't need to know much about harmony in order to come up with a good harmonic sequence that allows you to build a song on top of, right? So, just this. Now let's try and repeat this and change the note to the left. Now I've inverted the parts. You know, I mean, you don't need to be literate with harmony. But what I invite you to do is to push the envelope, to just try and find out things that you don't know, all right? It's fun. Just, you know, relax, play with controllers and stuff, and then once you find a nice sound, explore your harmony. If you are advanced and you already know most of the chords, how major, minor works, how modes work, well, you can experiment with parallel harmony. Like, for example, you know, I decide to go up one tone no matter what key I am in. So, one tone, one tone, one tone, one tone, one tone, one tone. How about if I build major chords on it? You know, harmony. Harmony is there for you to explore. Next, number 4, develop a melodic sense. So, I've said this before and I'll say it again. A melody is a melody, and it's probably the most important part of music. It's the one that you can sing without having to comp yourself. Shooby-dooby-doo-wop, shooby-doo-wop. Easy, right? One note at a time, something that is memorable. So, to build melodies, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes just look at the keyboard and go like, very simple. But you can create a song with a melody. Repeat. melody is an intention. You get it? So as long as you have, the willingness to come up with something, it doesn't have to be ultra complicated. It can be right? Forget what I'm doing around it. What counts is the melody, because at the end of the day, the arrangement can be nice or can be average or can be bad, but a good melody is a good melody. A memorable melody is a memorable melody. Yeah, there's another thing that I want to touch on when it comes to melodies, because when you say melody, you're talking about a monophonic sound, one sound at a time. So a lot of times you can think about it as a voice, right? So when I use my pitch bender and my modulation control here, I always think of voice. So if I'm going do 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 do, right? As a singer, I'm not a singer, but singers do this thing, do 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 do. So they do this embellishments. So you can do. But if you try to imitate singers using this, do 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 do, right? So from do 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 to do 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 do, right? So this is keeping in mind that a good melody should be possible to sing. So developing your melodic sense means also to make sure that the melody is singable. Which takes me to number 5, be assertive. All right? So this is a more state of mind kind of stuff. When you want to say something, just don't throw it there like this, Just don't throw it there like this. Just say it. The same thing is for synthesizers. If I want to say something, I'm not gonna go, right? I'm gonna go. It's not even embellishments or stuff, it's just assertiveness. How willing you are to communicate to me. Some people whisper, some people speak between their teeth, some people speak directly to your face, right? A good musician can drive a song from the back of the room, right? So, and I think it's just, I can't find a better way to explain it than intention. If your intention is to be assertive, to say something, that will come across. So even if I am going, I really mean it. It's not. It's not that. It's. You see what I mean? It's just how much I want music to come out of my instruments. It is a little bit of a mystery thing for some people, but not really. I mean, being on tempo, and then think about what you're about to say and then say it. Don't just, press some notes. All right? I don't know if this was helpful. I mean, to be honest, this is the stuff I wish they told me when I was younger, because I would have saved a lot of time. And you're going to wind up there anyway. If you're going to practice enough, if you're going to love this magic music thing, you will find your way to assertiveness and happiness in music. All right. I remind you to please click on the link in the description to check out Melodics. They're really nice and they support this channel. So give them a go and I will see you next time. Right after you have watched this video right here. See, assertiveness. Watch this video. That sounds slightly threatening. No. Watch this video next.